door has got a crack down the middle, and it's about to split. Like every time it opens and closes, it sounds like a freaking car wreck. And I'm like, my God. So I basically was finally just like, screw it. And went and got the daggum opener or whatever for this, for the small one. Because, you got to have that one first. But I don't know. Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast with Casper, D-Watt, and JP. Join us every Monday night at 8 on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform as we break down all the racing from this week. Welcome in to this, the 5th episode of Caution Flag Contemplations 2026, baby. The year's rolling right on along. I am Casper, the host. With me, I got JP and D-Watt. As always, just down here to break it down. A great weekend of road course left turns and right turns. You know what I'm saying? So
Casper's favorite.
Your favorite. D-Watt's a big fan. We'll talk about that more in a minute, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a pretty good weekend overall. Y'all having an all right weekend? Any good stories I need to hear about?
I don't have any story. Well, I got one story to tell in here in a little bit, but I had a pretty good weekend. Went up to Crossville, saw my in-laws, did some hiking, some walking, ate some really good food. I watched some basketball. This team in the orange, they're trash. They're white, they're just trash. So I'll get that hat out of here. That was embarrassing. I know the show we don't talk about sports on here, but I'm gonna let it rip for a second. It was bad. We'll talk about Thursday, but it was bad. It was embarrassing, and like get beat by Bama, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't good for sure. JP, what about you? What'd you do this weekend?
It was a good weekend. I came up from my training place in Atlanta, back home, spent some time with the finance before having to come back here again for another week of training.
It's cute. Big road trip planned this weekend, I hear.
Oh yeah, you too, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be wild down there in Sampson County, North Carolina. From what I hear, it's going to be a banger. So everybody better be ready. But
yeah,
looking forward to it. But yeah, no, I didn't do a whole lot. I went to Top Golf. First time I went to Top Golf was this weekend.
How many balls did you actually hit?
Not the bottom. I only missed twice. So
what was
I felt
your
okay
highest
about
velocity?
I didn't watch it that hard. I used a 4-iron the whole time.
I don't know which one it is, but I use one of those irons. I can't use the driver.
So I wanted to use like a 6-iron because that's what they told me to use, but there wasn't.
I think that's what I use.
I just used a 4-iron, which it was dangerous because I feel like I could get addicted to golf. So, but I had a good time. My wife threw her club off the top, not while she was swinging though. While she was dancing with the club after she swung, she threw it off the top. So that was interesting. I felt bad for people that had to catch that. I'm glad we were on the second level because that makes the ball go farther when you suck like me. So, but no, it was a good time. We did that and then watched a little racing and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know, not a whole lot going on. Racing world news. Y'all got any news? I got some news in here. Did y'all have anything you wanted to just let her rip about?
Oh man, Chris Gaypart. Let's just go and let it rip on this one.
D-Watt loves a lawsuit.
I love a good lawsuit to talk about. I was kind of keeping up with it today a little bit, Casper, on the way home, and it was very unique how this whole court situation, they weren't getting along there early on, didn't sound like, but now he's able to work at Spire in the same position. I guess how it's phrased over there at Spire, it's different than he was at Joe Gibbs, although it sounded like it was close to the same. So he escaped out there with no issues on his end. So I'm fine with that. I like that he got the win there. I think he's a very smart, great crew chief, great guy to get everything set up for the cars. Very smart. And I think he's going to bring something good up to them.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is kind of a wreck. So Friday they were supposed to rule on if he could work or not. They didn't. Then today they came back with this ruling that, yeah, you can work, but you can't do anything Gibbs related. Like what? So what? You can't crew chief for Ty Gibbs? I mean, what does that even mean? So I don't know if that means he's going to have to be at truck races or, I don't know. I think he was at St. Pete over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken, is what I'd heard. I don't think he was at COTA. So I don't know. I think that Joe Gibbs Racing is making an ass out of themselves, and I hope to see that that's what proves out in the wash. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm a hater. Been a hater for a while. So I don't know. Good point. I'm tired of talking about lawsuits. By God, this and every other sport, nothing but a freaking lawsuit. My favorite news item was, as we wrapped up the podcast last week, or I guess it was the day after the podcast, they announced Keelan Harvick to Toyota for a driver development program. That was a big shock to me. We've seen him in a little bit of HendrickCars.com equipment, so you just assume that Daddy Rick was going to write the check, but maybe they're going to do one of those things where they let Toyota have him for a little bit and then steal him back at the end. I don't know. Toyota seems to have a pretty good development department. I expect to see him running a little bit of that dirt, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. So
Midget, micros, whatever.
That'd be cool to see that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see him in a late model. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him in a dirt late model somewhere up here in East Tennessee. It ain't that far from North Carolina. Other than that, Jimmy Owens to drive for Vic Hill at Bulls Gap. I believe starting with the World Outlaws next week, I think. So that's interesting. Obviously, Jimmy's had some issues. He still has a Kohler car at the shop, but I guess he needs a little more funding for that car. But I guess Vic needs him to run that race when they run the gauntlet or whatever they're calling it after the Bristol night race. Do we thinking JD's going to run that? I'm just curious. It's $100,000 bonus if you win a prelim and win Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds right up his alley to me. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Jimmy will pull it off, and maybe Vic will give him enough money that Jimmy can go run some races this year. I don't know. I hate to see him not racing. So looking forward to that, see what they got. I'm sure he'll have the power. I'm sure he'll be good in qualifying. It's just going to be a matter of, can they get it set up to race, I would think. It is a CVR. Which, we used to see those around here all the time. I feel like they're not around as much, don't you?
Yeah, you don't really hear as much as you used to.
I mean, I guess the old BMF got in the way or something. I don't know. But, Riley used to run them down there at Bulls Gap and at Boyd's. Why'd I say Bulls Gap? I don't know. At one point he had 3. AP's favorite was Criminal. So shout out to old Criminal, the CRV. But, I don't know. Interested to see how that goes. Looking forward to some racing. We got, this weekend we don't have anything. Finally get to go to the racetrack this weekend. I don't know about y'all, but that weather Saturday, I was like, my God, I want to be at a racetrack right now. Saturday and Sunday both, really. I was disappointed to not be at a racetrack, but looking forward to getting out there on Friday the 13th, right? I think it's Friday the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th. A little dirt racing. Maybe it'll be a full moon, too. I will probably go ahead and pick over on cautions if it is Friday the 13th with a full moon, but we'll see what happens there. No other news we need to cover, fellers.
I got one, but I'm going to save it for my one hot minute because I know you'll love it.
I kind of got one, but I'll save mine too.
Okay. JP, did you listen to the episode last week?
No, I never did. I kind of forgot about it. I never heard what you said.
I talked about Formula One in my one hot minute. So
what did you say? What did you say in Formula One?
You'll have to listen.
Oh, man.
Folks, even this kid that participates in the show still can't listen. He drove for 3 hours between Atlanta and Chattanooga this week. Couldn't listen. It only takes 30 minutes to listen if you turn it on double speed. Pro tip for all y'all out there. But yeah, all right. Getting into the dirt racing. Excuse me. I think I'm getting a little sick here, fellas. The Tuesday through Saturday roll into the Ocala Speedway. One point was Bubba Raceway Park. Kind of interesting deal. I don't know. I guess this is the replacement for East Bay, with 5 nights. First 2 nights weren't points, and then, finish up Thursday, Friday, Saturday with Lucas points. It was weird, kind of to me, like 7,000. Some guys didn't unload. I really like the track. I'd like to say that. I love the shape. I love weird shape racetracks, as we've discussed on here multiple times, but I don't know. Watching that, Devin ran pretty much. Was it Devin? I think it was Devin won the first night. Yeah. Smoked him, and I don't know, man. Shepherd looked okay, but it just, Buckeyes getting a win. I don't love it, but no points, so it doesn't really matter. No harm, no foul. Corey struggling out there. Unfortunately, let's see, the Wednesday night, was that when they had that thing, or was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. When there's that caution for O'Neal that ended up moving him back out of a transfer spot in the B main. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but there was some of our local Tennessee racing Facebook group was on fire about, Corey losing his spot because they threw the yellow. Basically 71 spun and kept rolling and got his spot back, and there's a yellow for nothing essentially. And, I don't know, that blend rule thing, I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Do y'all like the blend rule, or do you think like you spin, you go to the back? What's your opines on that? D, what, you go first. You seem excited about this.
Yeah, so if you spin, in my opinion, if you spin, then you go to the back. I think you spin out, you're gone.
I mean, I think this whole, if your tires never stop moving, is the
Yeah, I
dumbest
agree.
rule in
Yeah.
racing. It makes it unsafe because if you spin out in front of the field, you're going to keep it matted and everybody's still trying to drive around you. And you're just pinned trying to get it back going and never let your wheels stop. I mean, it's a safety thing. It's
Yeah.
also just stupid.
At the end of the day, if they call a caution for you, that meant that you were being dangerous enough for them to call the caution. I think you should go to the back. And unfortunately, it's part of racing. Sometimes those calls go bad. Maybe they shouldn't have, or you keep it rolling or whatever. But it's just part of it. You got to go to the back. I don't like this whole blend thing. I think if the caution is for you, you should go back. I think if you slow down and get past, like obviously, I think you should get your spot back for that. But if you are the caution, the reason, I think you should go to the back. And it's just like any other sport. Officiating sometimes isn't great. Sometimes bad calls happen. But that's just my opinion on all that.
Man, we can talk about that too in the baseball world these days.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
that's you. You might have to come on the other show for that. Don't give it away. Don't give it
dude.
away. Tune to Sport
I've
Talk
seen
with D
so
Watt
many
to hear
clips already, and I'm just like, oh my god.
to hear
Oh.
some rants on Major
I
League
could
Baseball strike
give you a
zones.
rant on that.
Yeah, tune into Sport Talk with D Watt on Friday morning, Thursday night, whenever it comes out. So that'll be a good time. But yeah, I don't know. So B-Shep gets the win Wednesday in the other prelim. Thursday we roll into Lucas Points, and bada bing, bada boom, there he is, Hudson O'Neal. I just want to remind everybody, JP said he wasn't going to be able to continue his momentum coming out of the Rumley machine. I don't know if you've noticed, but he hadn't done anything but win. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's got to be rich at this point, right? Like, my goodness. So he gets the win Thursday night. We had a couple boo-boos here. JP, you want to speak on your boy? You want to make some excuses for an old man in a 49 not knowing how to drive? Or you think it wasn't his fault? Well, let's hear what you got to say.
I would rather comment on something else that happened Thursday night. I don't have any comments.
Well, we can get to that in a minute. D-Watt, what was your opinion of the Jonathan Davenport, Kyle Bronson situation there? What did you see?
JD just got in there and made a mistake and cost him the night. I mean, I was watching it and then just that contact and then going into turn one and just that flipped.
Yeah.
And, when you just race here and there and you don't each night, you're out there each night racing, it's going to happen. And I just thought it was just a mistake and you don't want to see that out of him. You think he's better than that. And he just dropped the wheel and got how to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to call a spade, but I mean, at the end of the day, like he hadn't raced since the Dome. Well, no, he ran the Wild West Shootout. Yeah. So it's been since then, but they've been off. No speed week time. It's been probably a month and a half, I guess. And you go down there and your first lap of racing is on the outside pole, and you just run out of talent. It's unfortunate, but you got in the back of the 40B, turn him around, and good news is y'all are both pretty big humans and didn't get in a fight, and I think both of them have a little bit of understanding for each other, and neither of them, I don't think, thought anybody was trying to do anything intentional, but he just missed it. I don't know if he needs to get those glasses checked again or what, but I'm still a fan. Don't get it twisted, but part of being a fan and doing a show is you got to call a spade, right? And just ran out of talent, wrecked him, and that wall over there, boys, at Ocala, son, shoo, it'll hurt a race car. I don't know if y'all noticed all week, but man, it was hurting some race cars, and it comes up in a hurry. So glad he was okay and got to race again Saturday. But anyways, Kyle Bronson had some comments after that in the pits. JP, you got anything you'd like to say about Kyle Bronson's phallical comments? Keep this PG. Don't make me edit this.
Man, that's got to be quote of the year already, right? I mean,
for sure. It's not even close.
Raining tacos, you get hit in the head with sausage. I mean,
yeah.
It's gotta be the best quote of the year. No way to beat that.
It's not even close, man. I was going to get ice cream at Andy's Frozen Custard, and it was raining, and like there was a super long line, and man, it was bad, dude. I about died laughing driving down the road whenever I heard that. I was like, only Kyle Bronson. But yeah, it was a good time, and I don't know, hate it for him.
Good to say. I mean, talking about his goats and all the other that he said over the years. He just lets it fly, Kind of got to respect him for that.
It's because he doesn't care. I don't know what he does for money, but whatever he does, it must work because he's racing all the time and he's got a farm and all that. So he's got it figured out. So I'm happy for him on that. But yeah, no, definitely a pretty good interview as far as that goes. And my favorite part of that really was the broadcast, like Essex, and then just have no idea what to even say after
Yeah.
that. They're all just like laughing, big pause and all that. So it was that was a great time. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it, and that's pretty much the highlight of the night. And then, like I said, Hudson gets a win. Fortunately, again, I think we're going to hear a lot of that this year. We have so far, so I don't know why we'd stop. And then we go into Friday night, get rained out. So we take a night off Friday. They also rained out all of the stuff at Swainsboro and was it Screven they're supposed to be at, I think. No, Swainsboro and Sonoa, whichever one you want to say, the one that's the Pollard Zone. They rained all that out, moved it back. I'm not sure when they rescheduled it for, but they did reschedule it, so we'll see what happens there. And I don't know. They had a little bit of stuff down there at Southern. I didn't really watch that either. Anyways, Saturday night we go on the main feature for Lucas. Everybody, I guess, here had made a pick pretty much. Ewalt was just guaranteed JD was going to get it done. I'll be straight up. I was at Top Golf when this happened. Did you watch this?
I did. I watched it. Yeah, it was a rough track out there, Casper. It was I liked the track, but it was definitely rough. They were those guys. I thought, and I'll get y'all's take on this. Those guys were. It was so rough that they would hit the ground and have flat tires. That it's like the tires would come off the rim or something like that. So there was a couple of guys, including the leader there. 76 had a flat, and he was leading. He was maybe the top car. But yeah, they kept the show moving well on Saturday night. And I thought JD was going to run a little bit better. He was kind of the mid pack, but then as the cautions were coming out for flat tires and whatnot, he was able to make some gains and made some passes late. So I believe he got, was it 4, something like that. So all in all, I thought that was one of the best nights of racing with all the rain on Friday. Made the track a little choppy, but the drivers didn't really complain that much in the interviews. I felt like they just accepted it and understood that's what it is in Florida after it rains. But my take on that was it was a good race, and you hate to see the guys up front have issues, but that's what happened.
Yeah, obviously I got to watch highlights and stuff, and I'd seen some stuff on the internet, people saying that all week we ain't racing tonight. This track's a wreck, and I think I saw after that people were talking about, well, it ended up being okay. Obviously it was pretty hammered down, but it ended up being all right, I guess, race. But I don't know, JP, do you have any more thoughts on the whole Lucas weekend, or you want me to ask you a question first?
What do you mean? Ask me a question.
Was it as good as East Bay? Yes or no?
No. I love East Bay.
I agree.
It's not the same. It's just not the same. You can't replace East Bay.
I think I think at some point it can. They just have to continue to make things better. The car count was just not all that great. We were in the 30s all weekend. I swear when they used to go to East Bay, it'd be like 70 sometimes. And I don't know. The whole Speed Week schedule is just kind of wacky now, and it just feels weird. It doesn't feel normal. I don't know. Not go to East Bay, and then Volusia's just been so snoozy here the last couple of years, and I don't know. It's weird. We still haven't been to Golden Isle, which I'm kind of used to that being an opener and all that. So we'll see. Obviously they're going to Golden Isle here. Tomorrow night? I think Tuesday. They start Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. I think it's practice. So
practice Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll see what happens with our boy JD. Maybe he can, learn how to drive again. I don't know. I like watching races there. Not necessarily always the best racing track either, but it's a good time watching them. I'm curious to see what happens, and I'm kind of curious how many cars they pull. With World Outlaws coming up, you'd imagine all those guys are at home reloading for their fire back up next weekend, so you're not going to see anybody from there, I would think. Unless they feel like they need to get some work in. You might see a Drake Troutman or somebody like that. He's trying to race every single race he can get in. So definitely curious to see. But, right now, Overton, O'Neill, I think, clearly the dominant cars so far. After that, I don't even know who I would put. Anybody else y'all feel like's had a good start or a better start than you thought?
Not really for me. I guess O'Neill is obvious, but I guess it's just been some okay car counts, like you said, and I thought it was just a pretty good speed weeks there for Ocala, and looking forward to Golden Isles and really seeing how that track races, which is bigger, so they get a lot of speed built up, and hopefully there'd be decent weather for them, because I don't want get rained out. That's not what I want to see. So got to see what's coming up next.
Yeah, it's the other thing too, to remember here is we have the points. I know I put them in the notes and stuff, but they still get to drop some. They
Yeah.
take, I think, the 5 best finishes after Golden Isle, right? Is the point. So it's still changing every night. But right now, Clay Harris, I think he's done really well. He's been running up there consistent. Dude said he's got 6 motors this year. Oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all remember, but he came to I-75 last year late, and he looked pretty good here at I-75. And I was like, wait a minute, oh boy, putting in some work. And I don't know. I would love to see him have a good year. RTJ still kind of on the struggle bus a little bit. I know they started getting it together a little bit, but still not great, not where they have been. So curious to see if they can get that back where it needs to be. And then, not saying it, but if they don't, how long does that last? Ricky's been one to jump around, and the Kohler thing, not racing that much with Jimmy, and you just wonder, how much longer does that whole deal have? So curious to see that. On that, Corey's in 13th in points currently for all those that care, which means he's beating Garrett Alberson, so we'll take that. That was the one I was going to note. Garrett Alberson back here, 14th in points, really hadn't been much of a factor. That's kind of a little bit of a surprise for me. Dallin Murdy put a run in there, and then he got in a wreck or two. I don't know. It's tough, but if it just feels like a weird start to the year. All those races got done so early too. I borderline think that's part of it. Like I remember kind of staying up and watching some of these races, but no sport classes gets them done quick, So we'll see what happens there. All right, I guess for dirt this weekend, like so we got Golden Isle, and then Southern All Stars is gonna be at Penton, Alabama, and North Georgia Speedway this weekend. D, what you gonna head on down there to North Georgia Saturday and watch a little bit?
I'm about to check that out.
Me and JP will be in North Carolina, but you go down there in North Georgia. I don't know. You see what happens. How many cars they got show up, and maybe they'll have somebody good show up. I don't know. We'll see. Looking forward to seeing what they got, and looking forward to watching Lucas. Do what?
Maybe you'll see a 148 machine show up in North Georgia.
Oh yeah, Booger Brooks will be there for sure. Dude, that's right up his alley. Hopefully he's got a decent motor. If he has a decent motor, maybe he'll get him a win. He could race with those guys. So just curious to see what happens there. All right. Overall, Ocala feelings. We talked about that. It's not East Bay, but hopefully they can figure out a way to make it East Bay. And I feel like the promoters down there, Bubba and all, I really think he's trying hard, and I hope that they can figure it out and just keep making it a little better every year, and you just have to keep going back and back and back, and you have to sit there and you have to do it for probably 5 years to build it, right? So hopefully that works out for them, and maybe they could add like that Strawberry Dash thing back in or something. I would like to see something like that added back in, or maybe another non-qualifier feature. Make it, even if it's only 10 laps, like you win, you can take $500 to start, something like that. I'd like to see, but we'll see what happens. So moving on into the NASCAR world, where we were making left turns and right turns this weekend.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel about road courses. Is that your favorite tracks on the circuit?
I used to really hate them, honestly, Casper. In the years past, I was not a big fan of them, but now that they have brought more into this schedule, I've learned a little bit to grow on them, but I just feel like sometimes, like under caution, especially, they just take a long time to get back to green. So that's probably my only gripe is the caution situation. And they've probably gotten better at it, maybe. And I like a good, give me a little late race drama to talk about, or give me a little bump. I was kind of going to say that Sunday, which we'll get at here in a little bit. But overall, they're growing on me. I don't love them. I'll still watch them. I'll keep an eye on them. But that's just kind of like a mid for me.
Fair enough. I don't know. I think it's cool. Sunday, which we'll get to that in a minute, but a lot of no cautions for sure. We'll start off with the trucks at IndyCar St. Pete. I actually thought that was, I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch that. Obviously, it was Saturday at noon, kind of a weird time, but I actually thought that was a really good truck race overall. Yeah. I know Lane Riggs, D Watts picked there, just decided to put it on him, but overall, I thought it was a pretty good race. I thought the track race was pretty good. It's pretty tight. I kind of liked that it has the walls that close and everything. On the street course, I feel like that kind of tightens everything up, and it creates some stuff, cautions and whatnot, and a little bit closer quarter racing than we might have seen at COTA when we get to that F1 beauty that it is. And I don't know. Overall, it's a pretty good race. I thought it was interesting to see Lane Riggs out there, killing them. I wasn't sure what to expect. Obviously Corey Haim whipped everybody in all the truck races last year, so with him being gone, curious to see what happened with that team. And, they ended up finishing it's Caden Honeycutt ended up getting 5th. A lot of people thought Caden Honeycutt was going to come in this thing and just dominate, just like Haim did, right? And he hasn't, so maybe Corey's that good of a driver, right? So I don't know. I think that kind of goes a long way to show that cool to see Colin Braun back in there. You know, I don't know, me and D-Watt, I don't even know if JP remembers that, but he definitely was in the trucks back in the day when me and D-Watt did not miss a truck race at Texas or Atlanta back in the day. You know, he's an up and coming truck star that went away and went and ran sports cars, I think. Cool to see him in there. Landon Lewis.
There you go.
That's the car store guy, right?
Yep.
That's that Landon Lewis. That was pretty crazy to see him run a road course finish top 10. I thought that was a good run. James Hinchcliffe, did y'all see his interview after the race?
No, I did not.
He first of all, he was going by Jimmy Hinch, which is stupid. I've never really liked the guy that much anyways as an IndyCar driver, but so he's going by that, and he's doing TV for Fox for IndyCar this year or whatever, and that's kind of dumb. But after the race, he was like, no, I mean, I could have been so much better. I should have done so much better.
God.
And I could tell that there was that IndyCar arrogance a little bit. Like, no, I raced IndyCar. I'm better than guys in the truck series. And guess what? It's hard. Okay.
Yep.
NASCAR's harder than IndyCar. Sorry if I just hurt somebody's feelings, but truth is what the truth is. Can't help you there. So I don't know. I like seeing him struggle a little bit. And poor Dario Franchitti, haven't seen him in NASCAR in years, and comes out there. He could barely walk after this race. I mean, like, poor Jimmy had to walk him over there to the thing, and the truck broke on him and stuff. So he's like way in the back, but he gutted it out, finished it like a man. They said he hadn't raced competitively in 10 years. That's pretty crazy to get back in a car after that. So hopefully we'll see Jeff Gordon try it next, you know. But
Jeff
but I don't
Gordon
know.
put it in the fence.
Hey, you take it easy, big dog. Take it easy, all right? But Ben Rhodes gets stage 1. Lane Riggs gets stage 2. Lane Riggs wins the race, leading 41 laps. So really good win for old Lane Train, D-Watt's favorite. And then the trucks are off this week. They get a couple weeks off here. And I think their next race might be Darlington, Rockingham, one of the two. I can't remember. It's somewhere back over this way, I believe. So I'm sure they're ready for a couple weeks off after tearing some junk up. So that leads us into the O'Reilly series. Does anybody want to cover it? All right. D-Watt, you didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it, but I'll cover it. Let's see here. So stage winners went to Hill and Mayer. Big hit for a broken car in turn 1, a 30 car.
I can't say the guy's last name. It's like, did you see this, JP? He absolutely, like, the brakes broke in turn 1. He went up the hill and could not stop it and just absolutely plowed through the gravel, hit the wall. Y'all remember that video of Jimmy Johnson wrecking back at Watkins Glen back in the day, going through the gravel?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like one of those. So that was definitely bad. Glad to see him walk away.
The road course, we call him Ringer, but he's probably not really anymore. SVG. I saw some highlights of this race, and you know, that was his day. He had a great effort. That was picked by JP. So that was a good pick there, JP. Yeah, it was a pretty clean race. Not a whole lot to talk about on maybe the wreck wise and whatnot.
No fights.
But one thing I saw this weekend that I liked was the cars not trying to get through certain areas that they shouldn't be on, which they put up that I heard it was 1,000-pound
tire barrier
wall or tire or something like that. Yeah. So that's one thing with these road courses also that I don't love about is these guys will try to stretch it for all it's worth. So the best way to solve that problem is put that
barrier
there,
there,
and that'll keep put a barrier there, and it'll keep cars from trying to find their advantage. This whole car, these guys that want to share rides, I kind of share my thoughts on this ride sharing situation of Quaffle and Caruth. I don't love it. As a driver, if I was the one driving these cars, I don't think I'd like it. Just with this team and that team, and then trying to drive this shop and that shop, and you got different crew chiefs in your ears each week, and I don't see how you get better if you're always changing. So that was my take on that. So maybe it'll work out, but you gotta like that they get these chances and they gotta make the best of them. And I get it with the sponsors, and they're not going to give you the whole season. Maybe if these guys can go out and show a little something, then they'll get more time behind the wheel, all in the same car each week and week out. So I feel like we're starting to see it more, and it might be a new thing. I don't love it, but as a fan, I guess I would have to get used to it.
Yeah, I halfway wonder if this car sharing thing is like Dale Jr. trying to tell NASCAR that they need to give them more money in the O'Reilly series, similar to what Michael Jordan and them were asking for in the Cup series, where it's like, I mean, we have guys that we want to put in these cars, but we don't have the money to put them in the car.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Carson and Rajah have worked out to pretty much run full schedules. I think both of them, so I'm glad for that. But it is super strange to think they're not going to run the same car every week.
Yeah.
The CW is obviously doing a great job on the broadcast, same series, same channel every week. And then now you have this inconsistency of guys being different car numbers. And yeah, for us, race fans, like dedicated, it's probably, you kind of know what's going on there. But like, if you're just some strange person that like happens to flip your channel to CW in the middle of a race, you're like, and you watch one or two, and then the next week you see him in a different car, you got to be going, what? I thought he was in this car last week, and I thought he was with Dale Jr. Now he's not. What's the deal? And I think it's a really bad look for the series overall. This is unpopular opinion. I borderline would like to see some kind of rules against this as far as points go. I don't like that if you run in different cars, you're not really running for the points championship to me, kind of.
We kind of agree
I don't know
on
what that rule would. I don't know what that rule would look like. And like I said, because of the funding issues, I understand, but I also just would like to see NASCAR do something to discourage it. So, I don't know. Maybe they can figure it out. Maybe they can't. So we'll see what happens on that, I guess. Basically, SVG whipped everybody. He led 31 out of 65 laps. Austin Hill tried to look good there for a minute. I don't know if y'all know. He did win stage 1. He didn't run over anybody, so that was good.
So what we're
What were you saying,
skipping
JP?
here is, my favorite LMP2 Daytona 24-hour champion had a hell of a weekend overall, right? I mean, this man in the
No.
Xfinity race has brake issues, pits, goes to dead last for swapping out the brakes, drives up to the top 5 or whatever, and then gets taken out for no reason by Corey Day. I mean, just absolutely hooked him. And Corey Day
Yeah.
might just need to go stick to dirt racing because
Okay.
he has not
Okay.
been too swift in the asphalt world
Yeah.
yet. And then
We're
Sunday,
gonna get to that here in just a
I
minute.
mean, oh boy.
So you're talking about Connor Zilic for
Yeah.
everybody that doesn't know who
Yeah.
who he's talking about. But yeah, Connor, he probably passed the most cars this weekend, I guess, which we'll talk about
Yeah.
Sunday too. But yeah,
He's been
I don't
getting
know.
screwed, dude.
So yeah, I see D Watt was bubbling right there to talk about this approval process with Corey Day and Corey Day being over aggressive. Is that what you're about to talk
Yeah,
about?
so this whole Corey Day thing, man, I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. He's got Daytona, Atlanta, he just drives over his head, and he's going to get this bad repetition from drivers
Oh,
and
he's
car
already got
owners.
it.
And,
I mean, I don't know if you
it's bad.
saw. I saw it on X somewhere where, like, after the race, Zillich was like, yeah, it sucks that he did that, but it sucks even worse that I'm standing right here staring at him and he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
He said that
When I
or
saw
something
that clip,
along
I
those
was like,
lines.
yeah, that's what he said. He's just staring out. That's just weird. Like, if you're going to screw up, go there and talk about it. Make it right. Don't just stare at the guy like you're nervous or something. You scared, say you're scared.
Yeah. I think part of Corey Day's thing is like he's got cars with fenders now, and it's hard to figure out that balance. And I consider him to be similar to Hocevar as far as like he ain't learned the line yet, and he's probably needs to get wrecked. Honestly, it's probably what needs to happen. Is somebody needs to hit him, and maybe he'll learn at that point. But I don't know. I mean, it is interesting. This whole approval process situation has come up. And, I'm a Hendrick fanboy, so I'd hate to have to say this, but at the end of the day, like, if Corey Day is not driving the Hendrick O'Reilly car, does he get approved? I don't know. I mean, have we seen enough out of him to really say he can drive in the O'Reilly series on
Not
a
really.
super speedway? No. I mean, I would probably have approved him for the road course or short track, but, like I said, it's 3 weeks of junk now. So hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully, Kyle Larson, his mentor, can get in his head and calm him down. But, again, remember, there's a lot of guys that have done this. Kyle Larson wrecked a lot of junk. Joey Logano wrecked a lot of junk. Brad Keselowski wrecked a lot of junk. Right now, we're watching Hocevar wreck a lot of junk. Ross Chastain wrecked a lot of junk, right? So hopefully he'll get it figured out before he loses his seat, I guess is my thing. Because I obviously like to see anybody that runs dirt make the move over to asphalt and beat Tyler Reddick and win all the races. So hopefully he can get it figured out, but definitely not a good look. This is a good transition to Sunday. So after SVG gets the win, so we'll just go ahead and talk about the one thing that really griped me about this race. Again, is approval. Okay. So I did a little research today. I made a couple phone calls, did a little research, and I don't think Myatt Snyder had a NASCAR Cup Series license previous to the race yesterday. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but you do have to pay for a license by series as a driver. Don't ask me how I know, but I don't think he had one. But, Rick and Chad said, hey, we want him in the car. NASCAR said, yes, sir, no problem. And that, again, I'm a Hendrick fangirl. I got 2 Hendrick helmets right here, but I don't really like it. I'm sorry. And this is something too that I've talked about in the past. I feel like Hendrick or maybe Chevy, maybe the manufacturer, somebody's got to carry a backup driver at every one of these races.
I like that.
And for a while, I thought Allgaier was that guy for Hendrick. I guess not anymore. Obviously, this isn't something that gets talked about all the time, but I really don't like just pulling somebody in that hadn't run an Xfinity race in 5 years and putting them in, a cup race. What do you think about that? Do you like it? You okay with it? Not okay with it?
I'm not okay with it. If you ain't got a license, they should keep one driver from the Xfinity Series back for Sunday in case anything happens. They should have one backup as a primary backup because you don't know if this guy's going to get wrecked and either get hurt or be sick and have to get out of the car. So, when I saw the changeover and that name kind of caught me off guard, and you got to get somebody in the car, I understand, but they should have somebody that should be the same guy each week as the backup.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for sure as a bigger team or 4 team, you definitely have to have that. And like I said, maybe it's something that the manufacturers need to look at is saying, okay, this is our development driver. They're going to be our backup. And maybe you have to look at it by size so they can fit in the seat or whatever. Hendrick can afford to pay somebody an extra, $10,000 to sit there on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And travel with their stuff.
Guess what series already has that? Your favorite. F1. Every single team has backup drivers there every weekend.
Yes, they do because they're at risk of dying every time they go on the track. That's a whole other story.
That's any race car. That is any race car you get into. I don't care if it's a front-wheel drive at I-75 Speedway or an F1 car at Monaco.
That's probably just as dangerous as a F1 car at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm with D-Watt. I think that they should have dedicated backup drivers and they can afford it. And like I said, I thought they had that, and I don't know if we've changed that because of the point system, but I will say it's actually going to matter more now because of the point system, and everybody's going to be trying to get those laps back that they can. Now, from the Myatt's perspective, they said, you want to get in the car? He got in the car. He went out there. He did a good job. He didn't wreck the car. He traveled with his fire suit, and he traveled with his helmet. And that's a good story. I don't care who you are, whether you like him or not. He's out here working for Fox, and they're like, hey, you want to get in my race car, and we're talking the top 4 race cars possibly in the field. You say, yes, sir, I will immediately. No problem. Thank you very much. So I don't know. From him, that's really cool that he got to do that, and he didn't do a bad job. So, didn't get any wrecks or nothing like that. Didn't spin it out. Didn't put it in the gravel. He did his job. And, he also was a road course guy. I don't know if y'all remember, but he went and ran, NASCAR Euro for at least 1 year, maybe 2, which is all pretty much road course. And, I don't know. It was cool, but did not like to see it. And I was just thinking, if this would have been for BJ McLeod Racing, would have got approved? And the answer is no.
No.
So, I don't know. NASCAR's got to have a better process for that in place, in my opinion, effective today. Like before we get to the racetrack this weekend in Phoenix, there needs to be something better. And I would assume that the teams will probably address this as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's got to be a hot topic. Got to have some kind of plan together.
Yeah. So anyways, all right, that's it for my complaint session on that. So we get to the actual race. Stage 1. D-Watt, how'd you feel about Ryan Blaney in stage 1?
Oh, he is not, that big on. I didn't think he was going to run that great at these road courses, and he really surprised me, and I saw him up front there. So to stage 1 to go to him and wear him out. It was all day long. He ran really good. He ran there top 5 there towards the end, top 3 or so, and hey, I love it. Give it to me, baby.
Yeah, he looked really good. And then in that first stage, I was like, ooh, it's going to be tough to catch him all day. I really thought he was going to probably win the race. And then the old crew chief pulled AG on him, unfortunately, later in the race. But so that's it. Stage 1, basically nothing happens. My boy Chase somehow ends up pits from 11th, ends up coming out 57th yet again. So I don't know what they did on pit road. But pit road has not been a good place for the 9 team this year. And that's a struggle as a fan for me, and it kind of makes it hard to watch these races. Y'all know, like when your guy gets junked or he starts doing bad. But I was enjoying watching Blaney, and Reddick and everybody race with SVG, and beat SVG. I can appreciate anybody that can beat SVG at all on a road course. I don't care how bad his car is. So that was really cool. Stage 2, restart. Daniel Suarez needs to be parked. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They got to park Daniel Suarez. He has KO'd every Trackhouse car he has gotten close to. He takes out JP's boy Connor Zilic on the restart. Absolutely had no business in there, and if that would have been anybody other than a Trackhouse car, I don't think he would have been there. The dude is driving this goes all the way back to the Clash. Like, he's been doing this, and it's not okay, and if it happens again, they need to step in. That's my opinion. You can't be driving out there with revenge and wrecking people. You want to pass them, fine, but just wrecking them, no, not okay with it. Now, I want to ask, JP, after that situation, if you were Zilic, would you have ever restarted on the outside of turn 1 again?
You would not have, but we made that bad decision and did. So
just wanted to note that before we get farther down the road.
Yeah.
Ty Gibbs running a really solid race. Win stage 2. Obviously, some of these guys flipped it trying to win the race. Ty Gibbs had really good speed all day, though, and I don't know if y'all know this, but he's actually pretty solid on a road course. I'd actually bet Ty Gibbs for a top 10 finish because he finishes pretty good on these road courses if you look at it, and I guess Vegas has been sleeping on that. So, given all the negativity around him, he needed a good day, had a good day, got a stage win. Congratulations to him on the stage 2 win. We get to stage 3, and we have this great race between your boy and Reddick, which you probably didn't enjoy very much.
No, I don't really like those kind. I like it when it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But, man, Reddick, he got the lead, and he held the lead, and he was out front there. It looked really good. Then Chastain with his tire fell off. I guess he pitted. Did he pit and then the tire fell off, laps later?
It was, something. I don't even really know how that happened. It had
saw
been a
that
while.
part. Yeah, I saw it, and then I saw him out in the grass, in the sand, and the wheel fell off, and the caution come out.
Didn't have to be yellow, just for the record. They did not have to call that caution.
Okay,
they wanted it, but they didn't have to call it, right?
I feel like since we didn't see many yellows all day, they got a little happy with the yellow, and they threw it out there to kind of get everybody regrouped, which some guys were staying out longer. That was where you saw some pit strategy going on there. Get y'all's take on that. Would you want to stay out longer or pit when you should?
I mean, from whose perspective? From Blaney's perspective, I would have short pit the crap out of Reddick is what I would have done, because all you needed was 2 laps and you'd have been in front of him. And I think with the clean air, you probably hold the lead. But as far as what you're saying about Blaney, though, I think he didn't do the right thing, but everybody else, I felt like everybody else's strategy was okay. I liked it there. I think, and TV didn't do a good job of covering this. I've got rid of X on my phone. But I'm pretty sure that Chase and Bell basically were 3 stopping that last stage, and they had already pitted 2 stopping it and had already pitted the second time or whatever when that caution came out, and that's how they got to stay on the track but also had fresh tires because they didn't pit. I was weirded out because I was like, I saw Chase on the track when they were going to commercial, and I was like, oh my God, Alan, not again. I'd even wrote it in the notes in here, like, Alan does it again. And then they come back and they're like, Chase Elliott's on fresh tires and Bell too, and they were both stayed out. I don't think they pitted. I think that's what happened with them. I'm not 100% on that. TV didn't cover that. I didn't have X to keep up with it. But
Chase saw the wheel going off the track and pulled into pit lane off of his own decision.
Yeah, that's right. Engine number 9 carried him on his back. That's my boy. Proud of him. See, I knew something weird happened there, but
so
I don't know how Fox didn't cover that, because that was close to. I mean, he looked good there for the first 5 laps after that restart, actually, with tires, and then the car fell apart. But yeah, I don't know. So they end up having that restart, and Reddick just ends up getting away. Blaney didn't have nothing. SVG ends up getting in second, and I thought it was gonna be a battle, and man, Tyler Reddick's the man, boys. I don't know. I actually enjoyed. A lot of people, were probably complaining about the end of that race, but I enjoyed that last 17 laps of watching Tyler Reddick put on a masterclass. Obviously, Connor Zilic got turned on that restart because he restarted on the outside to turn on again. Rookie move.
Yeah,
I think Hamlin
should have lined up behind SVG.
Yeah, Hamlin gets
Hamlin
into
knocked
Byron.
into
Byron.
Yeah. It was it Zane Smith, I think. That hit Byron hit.
Yeah,
and Zane
something like
Smith.
that. Or Cindric. Yeah.
I got one complaint for some of these drivers that I saw Sunday. Kyle Busch got a little ticked off with Jesse Love. Gets into him. He got a little ticked off. Maybe the last lap I heard on the radio, there was something about the last couple of laps. He got tired of getting blocked. So some of these drivers, I don't get y'all's take on some of this, is these guys get get a little ticked off, get mad, and they take it out on either which makes sense. They're going to take it out on somebody, and they usually get through no problem. So I don't love it, but there towards the end, it happens a lot. They don't care. They're going to slam into somebody, and they're all good on their end.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch is I'm worried about Kyle Busch. He needed to have a better start to the year. I'm afraid he's going to go on a downhill slide, and it's not going to be looking good to play him in the 48 car if he stays on his current track. Yeah, I don't know. These guys get frustrated, and it happens. I was listening to I finally was listening to Actions Detrimental about 10 minutes before we started this. I haven't finished it, but I did hear Denny basically apologize, saying he did not mean to ruin Connor's day. Again, I want to point out Connor Zilic passed the most cars all weekend. He drove back up to 14th after that deal, and I think he had fallen back to 30th. And in 17 laps, he drove back up to 17th. Like, that's pretty
going to get
dadgum.
him one on one of these
14th.
road courses.
Like, yeah, if he keeps running like that, he will get one eventually. I think he would have won that race if he didn't get turned, honestly. I think he was that fast. We don't really know, but it would have been a good race to watch him against Reddick. And then my question with that, too, is, like, was he going to burn his stuff up trying to get past SVG? Because, like, SVG is hard to pass, right? Like, at the end of the day on these road courses, he's tough to pass. So, I don't know. But Tyler Reddick ends up getting the win, 3 in a row. That's awesome. I don't know.
Man, I'm pretty sure in this lawsuit somewhere in the settlement that there has to be like 2311 gets
Hold on.
This
We're having a conspiracy warning for it. Believe what's about to come out. JP might need to get your right now. Continue.
Now, I don't believe this, but I mean, did you watch the way he pulled off of the last turn up the front stretch? I mean, they mentioned it in the booth. I mean, just absolutely gaps him like he's got an extra 100 horsepower. I mean, just saying, the only place that SVG was better than was the slow speed in the S's. I mean, I'm just saying. Who knows? Who knows what was in that settlement? We don't know.
Yep. So JP is basically saying that NASCAR gave 2311 100 extra horsepower and on short tracks and 3 extra horsepower at Daytona. I'm just curious, where was Bubba with his extra 100 horsepower?
They only get it for one car. And
where was Riley Herbst? Oh, you're telling me Michael Jordan would pick Reddick over Bubba Wallace to give extra horsepower to? Is that what you're telling? Oh, okay.
Of the rough year he had last year.
That's okay. I hadn't seen D-Watt laugh this hard in a long time. I'm JP. So there's a reason that I got rid of X on my phone. It's because of crap like that. Thankfully, this is racing, so it's all fun. But
I like stirring the pot for you.
When I got rid of X is I got about 3 minutes into a scroll, and they were telling me that the aliens were coming January 27, and that Trump was about to announce it in the daggum State of the Union address. And I was like, what am I doing on this? I didn't hear anything mentioned about aliens in State of the Union, by the way. Anybody that needed to know, I didn't hear that mentioned. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there's any kind of cheating scandal going on. I think Tyler Reddick is a really good driver. I think that we forgot how good Tyler Reddick is because he did have a down year last year, had a lot of personal stuff going on. I also think that 2311 has just improved overall as a whole. I think Denny pushes them very hard. I think Michael pushes them hard, and I think Michael throws as much money at it as they need to. And at this point, I wonder if Toyota is not taking that and going a little shift towards 2311 from JGR. Obviously, straight up 2311's been their newsmaker, got their name out there. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens and what the rest of the team does. But Reddick
like
might
MJ
just be
said on the walk to the victory lane or whatever, he just pays the bill. Yeah, he said that on TV.
I heard that interview.
Yeah, Michael's a cool guy. Like I know he's kind of an asshole sometimes, but at least he's honest and he's doing this stuff with NASCAR. And NASCAR should be appreciative, and I'm appreciative as a NASCAR fan that he's out there. And I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing him, this weekend. See if Tyler can do it again. We'll get to that in the picks here in a minute, but. I just really liked, the cool thing to me about Reddick, and if he could ever win a championship that I'll go back to is, me and D-Watt saw him when we were like 15, 16 years old, whatever, at Dixie Speedway, Stock, Georgia, running a Lucas Dirt late model. That's the first time I ever seen the kid race. He's like 16, 17, 13, 14, I don't know, pretty young. And so I always go back to that, and I just think it's pretty cool if he can pull it off. So I think he's looking pretty good, probably locked into a top 3. In the regular season. He's going to be tough to beat at this point. He has an entire race lead. Y'all realize he could sit out and Bubba and Chase still couldn't catch him? That's crazy when you think about it. 72-point lead. That's insane. 3 races in. So, I think it goes to
Person
show
to
how
ever
good
win
the point
3
system is.
back-to-back to start the season.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Okay.
Man, let's be real. Nobody cares about that. Christopher Bell won 3 early last year. I was thinking about this. So Christopher Bell won 3 early last year, and
He didn't go back-to-back-to-back on
he
the
ended up
first
having a
3,
good year.
though.
No, but he won like the second, third, and fourth, right? I mean, he won starting at Atlanta, and then he won Coda, and then he won Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Nothing. It's not a guarantee, but I really like the new point system, like I was saying, and I feel like it rewards wins, and I'm looking forward to seeing guys try to win and all that. So we'll see what Tyler's got. I guess that about wraps it up overall for the week. This is going to be our new thing. 1 out of 10 for the Cup race. See what you're up.
Go out. Give me a 7. I say it was a 7.
Fair enough, JP.
I'll give it a
5. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because I thought this was an absolute snoozer of a race, and NASCAR has no business racing on this track with that much runoff space. This is a Formula One track. I'm sorry, NASCAR needs to go somewhere else. Sorry, I said what I said. All right, moving on. Picks of the week. D-Watt wins the week. He gets the win with Lane Riggs in the truck race, and the tiebreaker was SVG finished in second in the Cup race. JP did get the SVG O'Reilly race win, but like I said, the tiebreaker went to D-Watt. D-Watt gets on the board. The score is now 2 for me, 1 for D-Watt, 1 for JP. So we're headed right on down the road. I know D-Watt's looking to take the lead this weekend going into Phoenix, so I'm sure he's got some good picks from last. I already made him change his pick for one of them because I'm taking it. So, this week's picks gonna be a little different. NASCAR's headed to Phoenix. They're running a O'Reilly, IndyCar, and Cup weekend. I think that's really cool. So Saturday is the IndyCar and O'Reilly doubleheader. Cup race on Sunday. I think that's awesome. I hope they do this more. I want to see the IndyCars at Bristol Motor Speedway. Please make it happen. All right, I'm up first. My pick. What do y'all want to do first? Cup,
IndyCar, then
All right,
Flats.
we'll go Cup first. All right. Give me Cup. I'm going to take the 77 of Carson Hocevar. I think this is the weekend he gets it done. We go back to a normal racetrack, and I think he's going to be able to put it out there and get it done in the dogleg. Give me a 77 for the win.
I'm going to make a very controversial pick here. A couple months back, this old boy caught a bad caution and cost him a championship, but Denny Hamlin is going to win at Phoenix this week.
He won out there a lot. That's a good pick. Do what?
That's good. Oh man, I got 2 I want to go from, but give me the Ford driver. Give me Ryan Blaney to get the win Sunday.
I think it's a really good pick based off what I saw of them this weekend. So good job. IndyCar up next. I'm gonna take Alex Palou, and the rest of y'all can have whoever you want because all he does is win. So give me Palou.
Give me McLaughlin, whatever his number is. I don't even know IndyCar numbers.
Scotty Mack.
That's the only other name I can really think of.
All right.
Give me Pat O'Ward.
Pat O'Ward for old D-Watt. I like that. Big time pick. Sorry I took your boy Alex Palou off the sheet there. I couldn't let that hang. All right. Flex pick. This is a tough one for me. Okay. I'm going to go Brandon Overton to get the win Saturday night at Golden Isle. I think that they've had that thing righted. It's in Georgia, his hometown. I mean, I don't see why not. JP?
This is Casper's favorite series that starts back up this weekend with a whole new rules package.
Nope,
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Formula One.
We're
not picking Formula One.
I'm picking it, and you can suck it. Give me George Russell to win in Australia for the first Formula One race of the year.
We'll let it go for a week. I'm throwing the challenge flag. When there's only 4 cars that can win the race, I just don't know that it counts.
Any car on the grid this week can win because nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the cars are new, I'm going to give it to you. But like, if they go and win the first 4 races, like we're done. Okay, that's not going to be a thing. All right. What's your flex pick?
Give me my flex. Give me Austin Hill Saturday at Phoenix.
I hope not. I don't like that guy, but that's good picks. All right, I guess that about gets us almost out of here. We got enough time for 1 hot minute.
Yeah.
My God, I'll have to. Oh God, D-Watt, you go first.
My 1 hot minute Cars tour. The guy that wins the race usually is pretty safe when it comes to any kind of conflict or chit chat. I get you caught down in the victory lane, but I don't got the guy's name that went over there to him. But I love to see it. He kind of poked his head in there, had a little something to say, and there's a girl here that kind of got him out of the way, and then she was kind of giving him a look, and then everybody else got him out of there. But that was my 1 hot minute. Also, Saturday afternoon, I-75 it has like 10 classes of they got a bunch of classes running at I-75.
This week?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. I think it's
didn't even
11
know.
maybe. So they got a lot of classes out there at I-75. Go out there and support them. I ain't seen that many cars. I was eating lunch today with Mark, and we were going through the classes, and I was like, my God, that's a lot. So that'd be something cool to check
Like,
out.
so 4 late models, so 3 late models, so 2 late models, so 1 late models, 600
Yeah.
late models.
It is 11 classes.
Okay, 11.
11 classes. But, everybody be there. Gates open at 3, so it'll be getting started early, so that's good. Go get some tier parking maybe and enjoy it. Well, it's always a good time. I was 75. If I was in town, I'd probably look at going, but I am not going to be in town, so that's unfortunate. JP, what's your one hot minute? Wait, hold on. Hold on. I got to talk about D-Watt. He made a good point there. I wanted to ask y'all this. So I saw this thing from the car store, and I forgot to put this in the notes. Are modified drivers not the most whiny drivers out there, though? I know this is not modifieds, but I was thinking that, like, what y'all acting like modified guys now? These short track asphalt guys, is there anybody that complains more than them? We don't see this on dirt track, do we?
No.
I mean, these guys get their feelings hurt. You touch them, they're like, oh no, I got a boo. They're like my little 3-year-old. Daddy, I got a boo-boo. Oh, my God. Cry me a river. Turn him. Damn. Sorry. All right. I'm really tired of watching these guys on Flow complain on these short track asphalt. I don't understand what it's about. I don't get it. All right. Go ahead, JP.
Oh, with this week being
JP.
the first F1 race, one team, Aston Martin, is debating only doing the formation lap in a couple of laps because they can't get their engine to run and don't have parts. So that just shows you nobody knows what the hell is going to happen on Saturday or Sunday in the F1 world, and could be interesting. Might be one car finishing, who knows? But also, I got to say something about the baseball world right now. There's a pitcher
Right.
who has a great quote about the challenging of balls and strikes. When he was asked if he would ever challenge, he said, no, he is not an umpire. And that is the only correct answer for that question. So that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting. I'm trying to look at our fantasy here. Did Zeke win again?
I set mine this week.
I'm
Y'all
proud
be proud.
of you. I'm proud of you. I think it looks like Zeke won the week, unfortunately. Again, shout out to him. I'm supposed to be giving him a sticker. JP, I don't know if you know this or not, but you may not be the first Caution Flag Contemplations RC car on the track. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know. I was supposed to give him a sticker last week and I forgot. But anyways, I don't know. We'll see. My one hot minute is anybody that thinks they're a fan of Formula One racing actually doesn't know anything about racing needs to hang it up. So anyways, hopefully Max will quit. Glad to see him over here in NASCAR next year. And
that ain't ever
I don't
going to
know.
happen.
I mean, I don't know if he left. I don't know if he left or if that just happened, but that was pretty great. But I'll probably get an angry text here in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Max will come to NASCAR. I'd love to see that. I also love to see some of these IndyCar guys run some NASCAR stuff. I saw them peeping their heads around the corner over there at St. Pete. So looking forward to seeing that. Otherwise, it's been a great week. D-Watt, have a great one. I'll see you over on Sport Talk with D-Watt. I will try to publish some clips this week as I did not get any out last week. But if y'all are still here, thanks for listening to our nonsense. Y'all have a great week. Find a good race. Go to a race, man. It's nice outside. Go to a racetrack. Racetracks need your help. Go to a racetrack. Shout out JP. I saw a Tim Boucher car from Boyd Speedway, approximately 2012. And I was thinking maybe it was from that night that I have that picture from when you were like 9 down there with me and D-Watt.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. I forgot to say it last week. I'm not going to forget it 2 weeks in a row. I swear I'm not going to forget it. Y'all, hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammer down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time. JP, I gotta know, did you know that I told you to go away if you're a Formula One fan when it broke up, or did it just stop on its own?
It's just crappy hotel Wi-Fi.